I'm Ava Inesta. We are back with Coach Mora for week 1 of the college football season. We are just a few days away from the Huskies opening up against NC State under the lights this Thursday night. Coach, how are you feeling going into this matchup?
Excited, anxious, really looking forward to seeing our men play. You know, they put a lot of work into the season, and their off-season has been outstanding. And I think, like all of us, we're just excited to get out there and compete.
The guys have a lot of energy surrounding this game as it is at home. I'm sure it's nice to start the season off at home rather than being on the road like last season. However, you are starting the season off against a Power 5 team in NC State, which isn't going to be the easiest awakening, but I know the guys are up for the challenge. So what's kind of the initial approach going into this?
You know, there's a lot of unknown in your first game, and you know, not only with yourselves and how you're going to perform, but also what you're going to see from your opponent. And you know, we played NC State last year. Defensively, they're probably going to be fairly similar to what they were. So, you know, we're able to prepare for what we believe we're going to see. Of course, they're always going to have some wrinkles. Offensively, though, they're going to be different than they were last year. You know, they have a new offensive coordinator, they have a new quarterback, they've got a new offensive line coach. So we've had to do a lot of digging into their backgrounds to see some of the things that they like that you know, maybe they want to hold on to, and then be prepared for the unexpected, because they've all gathered ideas from other places they've been. You know, you mentioned playing at home. I think it's always an advantage to play at home, especially in your first game, because you know, you've spent more time in that stadium. You're able to stay in your routine a little bit more than if you travel, and you've got your home fans, and so that's going to be exciting for us. You know, school starts, and hopefully we can get a lot of students there, and they come out and support their fellow students.
So let's talk NC State. Last season they finished with an 8-5 overall record, 5th in the ACC conference, and like you said, they do have a new starting quarterback in Brennan Armstrong. In 2021, he had over 4,000 passing yards with 31 touchdowns. In 2022, he was a lot less effective, which has had him transfer to NC State. So how are you preparing your defense, like with guys like Jackson, Ronte, and Eric, for a known quarterback that has known passing strengths?
Well, you try to watch as much film of them as you can, and that's really important to us. This is a really good football team. It's a really good offensive football team. They put up, you know, more than 40 points on us last year and got after us pretty good. They kind of had their way with us, and you know, he's a really good quarterback. He's lefty. I don't know how much that'll change what they do formationally. They've got some guys that are back at kind of key positions, which is a tight end position, hybrid tight end position, guys we didn't play last year, an incoming freshman. So, like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty. So I think when you get into a game like that, the most important thing you can do from a defensive standpoint is just be technically sound, fundamentally sound, and assignment perfect, and then go play hard. And then as the game goes on, hopefully you get a feel for any changes that they've made, adjustments they've made, any unscouted looks. But the most important thing is that we are certain in what we're doing so that we can play fast.
Last season, NC State had a top 20 defense, but they're only returning one of their 6 top tacklers, which is Peyton Wilson. So how are you looking at your offensive line and your running game, which was some of your biggest strengths last season? And, you know, how is that going to be a key factor into overcoming the Wolfpack?
Well, we need to be balanced on offense. We have to be able to run the football, and then, you know, mix in some play action, some drop back, get the ball down the field a little bit, try to, you know, make the field big for them. But they're an outstanding defense. You know, I don't know that it matters who's coming back. They had a lot of depth last year. They're big and physical up front. I think probably the thing that they do best is they have a tremendous understanding of what they want to do on defense and who they are. They have an identity, and they play to that strength, and therefore they play with a ton of confidence. You know, their defense has a swagger to it, and they've earned that swagger by the way they play. They play fast, they play aggressive, they run to the ball, they tackle well, and there's just a real confidence that jumps out at you when you watch them on film. And so it's a tough task to play against a great defense like this.
So my last question, last week Ronte talked to the media, and he talked about how much he loves the student section and how much it means for him for the rent to be packed. So what does the support of fans mean to you, and why should people come to the game?
Well, I think number one, they should come to the game to support our student athletes, our players, you know, that, you know, are doing such a great job of working to represent themselves well, this university well, this program well, this community well, this state well, and just supporting them, you know. But You know, I've always taken on the approach or the attitude that, you know, they should come to the game because we've earned their respect. You know, they should come to the game because they get excited about the team they're going to see play. No matter who we're playing, they're excited about watching the Connecticut Huskies football team play. The Rent, especially at night, is a fun environment. You know, we know that the tailgating is world class. Now, I've never participated in it, obviously, but I think it's going to be a fun environment to be at. You know, it's the start of a 3-day weekend. You can get out there on Thursday night and have some fun with your family. Hopefully, I think our marketing department has done a great job of creating some opportunities for people to come out and, you know, not spend a fortune on an event that should be awesome for the whole family.
Yeah, well, I know I'm excited. The Huskies will open up their season against NC State this Thursday night, August 31st. Kickoff is at 7:30 on CBS. Coach, thank you so much. Best of luck, and we'll see you at the Rent.
Absolutely.